Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I am your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Thursday night in which I have two dogs invading my home studio, going berserk over here as I go live. So, shout out to everyone and do apologize for the noise there. Hope everyone's having a good night. Hope everyone had a good day. And now we're here to discuss the Los Angeles Lakers finally hiring a new head basketball coach, man, after what seems like forever ago that they dismissed head coach Darvin Ham. And now here we are with JJ Redick now leading the charge as Los Angeles Lakers head coach. And it's kind of a little early to determine how this is going to work out. Obviously, I didn't even know the full dollar amount until a little while ago. I think it came down to 4 years, $32 million. So that's about $8 million average per year for JJ. So that's a pretty good bag for a rookie coach, man. Not quite the amount that not quite the amount. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I got a full-fledged circus going on here. Not quite the amount that that was offered to Dan Hurley, obviously, but it's still nonetheless a good offer. $8 million for a rookie head coach. He gets 4 years. I don't mind the years. It's not too long. If this ends up being a disaster, they're not too crazy committed year-wise. So he probably at least gets 2 years, here, regardless of what happens, kind of like Darvin. And then we go from there. But I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited now. What's on the mind of everyone else now is trying to determine who is going to be the assistant coaches on this staff. Who and when will we know who these assistants are going to be? And if it's Rondo, it's looking like definitely he should definitely not be a second chair lead assistant. Like that's definitely not something that we should be looking for there. But as far as someone further down the bench, maybe they bring Phil Handy back. Who knows? But just excited that we finally have a head coach here. Now, whether it's a home run hire or it's a strikeout, we're going to have to wait and see. But it's done. It's official. A couple nights ago, I felt like on Tuesday, I felt like this could happen as early as today being Tuesday. But I've said I figured it'd be done within the next 48 hours. I doubt that we were going to make it to the weekend without the Lakers hiring a head coach. And we didn't. So shout out to them for getting it done. Congratulations to JJ Redick on his first head coaching gig. Going from a pretty good long NBA career, made a lot of money there, incredible college career. Then he goes into the podcast game and basketball, analyzing basketball for ESPN, amongst others. And now he is a head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. And it is going to be a journey, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. The pressure is on. The lights are at its brightest. You're coaching the Lakers. You're coaching LeBron James. You're coaching Anthony Davis. You're managing what can be a very difficult fan base, a very impatient fan base, very dedicated, very loyal, very passionate fan base, all of the above. You're dealing with player fans. There's a lot of things that Coach JJ Redick is going to have to prepare himself for here coming into this job. And it's all stuff that, quite frankly, Darvin Ham was just not prepared to do, really wasn't capable of doing. And I do think JJ does have some of these traits down better than Darvin did. I do believe that he can handle the media better. I do believe that he will get in players' faces a bit more. There's going to be a challenge of him dealing with players being Braun's guy, and he's going to have to get in Braun's face sometimes. He's going to have to call him out in the locker room at times. He's going to have to challenge him in film sessions at times. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if Braun, and JJ will kind of stage that. You get what I'm saying? I know it sounds kind of weird, but kind of fake the funk, make it seem like there's some tension there at times, or make it seem like he's calling them out at times just to kind of help sell the rest of the team to buy into that. I'm nowhere near kidding on that. I could see that happening. At the end of the day, you guys know this. I've been saying this for weeks, that when it came down to the coaching candidates, if there was quality coaches on the market, if there was, Tyronn Lue hit the market, if anyone that was out there that was worthy of, go get them, spending what you got to spend and make it happen, then okay, then the JJ thing probably would have made a lot of sense. But the fact that the pool of coaches was just very shallow, nothing exciting, nothing that you really looked at and felt I have to have this coach. And so you might as well go for the one that has some flair, the one that could potentially be that home run hire, the one who you would feel would have the highest ceiling of all of them, the one that that if you get this right, could be your head coach for the next 7, 8, 9, whatever years, right? We've heard the comparison that they want him to be their next Pat Riley potentially, or the next Eric Spoelstra, which is crazy comparisons. I know. I understand that. But at the end of the day, I like that they're trying something different. They're swinging for the fence. They didn't just go out and bring someone back in that they interviewed 2 or 3 times through different processes. They didn't fold to the fan base and go get Mark Jackson, who hasn't coached in the league for 10 years and probably will never coach again. They went out and they got a guy that they felt they could swing for the fences for and just hoped that it could work out. And now this is where we are. So shout out to everyone who's pulling up here on a Thursday night. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Try to go live a little bit earlier, but there's some police activity going on in my area. There was a stabbing and a shooting all within like less than a mile. So the helicopter's been out wild. So they just kind of died down right now. So they may come back. So if you hear some noise, I apologize. Between that and the dogs just going absolutely nuts right when I press record. Pretty good start to this show though. So appreciate y'all. Let's see who's in the building here out top. We got Rob. Salute to you, Rob. Appreciate you tuning in as always, man. We got Ryan here. What's going on, Ryan? Who do you think will be on JJ's Redick staff? I don't know. The rumors are they're going after Dudley. They're going after Cassell. They're going after maybe Scott Brooks, Rajon Rondo, amongst maybe some others ones. Like I had heard Stan Van Gundy's name in the past. We got to wait and see. I don't know if Cassell or Dudley are gettable. That's kind of received some pushback from their local cities that they're currently employed with. So I think both Anthony Davis and JJ Redick want Rondo on the staff. I'm sure Braun would as well. So there's a familiarity there. So I'm assuming that is something that could probably happen. We're going to have to wait and see on that, though. Outside of that, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see, because in the quote, when Woj said that the Lakers are looking to basically put together an elite coaching staff of assistants. So if he used the word elite. Now, I don't know if that's Woj's way of trying to shut down or like put pressure on the Lakers there, or if he knows little something and knows who they're potentially targeting and it's just not announced yet. I don't know yet. But when you use the word elite, you're going to set the bar high and the Laker fans are going to expect nothing less than that. I'm going to tell you this right now. There better not be more than one name we don't know on this staff, as far as I'm saying. That's the level of experience we need for this staff. There better not be more than one. Because if it's Rondo, if they bring back Handy, if it's a Scott Brooks, like I said, if it's a Cassell or Dudley, something like that, if there's a random name out there that we don't know, then it should only be one. And that's it. We don't need 3 guys that we've never heard of before. And I'm not talking about like a guy that's on the come up and maybe casual fans don't know his name. No, I'm talking about hardcore basketball fans don't know their names. I don't want them, and neither should the Lakers. We need an experienced group of guys who have been through the trenches, guys who have been through wars in the NBA. These are the guys we need out there alongside JJ Redick to help him navigate his first season as an NBA basketball coach. That's exactly what we are going to need. So the names that were mentioned, that I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't mind any of those. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's realistic to expect all of those, but I definitely wouldn't mind a combination of any of those. And then maybe some ones we haven't talked about or haven't thought of. Maybe they can pry some guys away. Maybe if I think Borrego was definitely getting a job either with Cleveland or Detroit. It was kind of leaning back and forth today. Earlier on today, I heard that he was the favorite for Detroit. Then later on tonight, I'm hearing that he's the favorite in Cleveland, and it's his job if he wants it. That's what I started hearing about 30 minutes ago. So it kind of went back and forth. So I'm not entirely sure where that stands, but I'm fairly confident that it's fair to assume that Borrego is not going to be an option as an assistant. Atkinson is out there interviewing for head coaching positions. Maybe he does make a move. Maybe the Lakers can pull him and put him in a lead assistant role. I just don't know yet, but I think we will get closure on this rather soon. The Rondo situation, as far as the legalities in the case that he has going on, appears to be settled. There's something in August that's kind of like a formality, I understand. And as far as like the criminal process of it or anything of him facing any type of trouble, there's no closure yet. It's not done, but it does look like this may not interfere with him potentially joining the staff like previously thought. So we don't know yet, but hopefully we will know soon. Sendo, what's going on, my guy? Said, what's going on, Jeff? Hope you're having a great night. JJ is not my preference for the head coaching job, but I'm glad the search is over. It can finally move to getting the assistants for this staff and the draft. Yeah, I think we're all kind of there. You know, like I said, if it was a deeper pool of qualified coaches, then I would say, yeah, I'd be with you on that. But I'm telling you, there really wasn't really another option out there. I know Monty Williams became, potentially available last night. He was never going to be a candidate for the head coaching job this far along in the process. I forgot and didn't mention his name when it came to assistants. There's a maybe there, but that guy's getting paid $65 million to go away after being fired twice in a little over a calendar year. Clearly he's having some problems with teams and players. So it might be good for Monty to take some time off. I know, God bless him, man. He already lost one wife in a horrific car accident, and now his new wife is suffering from cancer. So it might be, I can't tell a man what to do with his time or his career, right? But it wouldn't be crazy to think that maybe he's going to spend some time with his family, especially when he's getting paid, whether he works or not. So it would make sense for him to take some time off and spend that time with his family. But maybe he joins them at some point. I don't know. But I would say he'd probably be removed from the process right now. Patrick, what's going on, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Big Baby Sports, what's going on, brother? Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to Big Baby Sports, man. He's got a channel over there doing a lot of work, a lot of coverage. Pull up on him over there, man. Patrick says, finally, they got some ish done. Yeah, let me get the horn on that. They finally did get some stuff done. And we needed this, man. Like I said earlier, this was probably the NBA's worst kept secret for a while, right? Like, what's the holdup? Why is this taking so long? Just announce this already. Make it happen. The Hurley thing kind of came out of nowhere. They definitely had, heavy interest in that. They made an offer, right? Once that died down, we started hearing about that, on a Wednesday or Thursday. He was out here for a weekend. He was gone. We knew by Monday, and it was just back to JJ after that, depending on who you listen to, whether you're listening to Shams, whether you're listening to Woj, whether everyone has been tuned into Anthony Irwin and his coverage of this, whatever it is, we're here now, right? We got JJ. This was, like I said, the worst kept secret in the NBA circles was that JJ was going to be the head coach of this team. And now we're here with it. So I'm very curious to see. A lot of the talk was, I'm very curious. These narratives have been very clever too. LeBron James was never involved in this process. AD was pushing for this hire. AD had talked and spent some time with JJ. The focus is on getting AD touches and having him close out games, using him right defensively. So this is being spun very, very clutch-like. So I've always told you guys this. You guys always got to pay attention to the words, how they make this sound, how they flip things. Okay. Now, when they said that LeBron James has not spoken to the Lakers front office during this coaching search, that very well could be true. Very well could be true that he has not spoken to them directly. But that does not mean that he's not talking to JJ and Rich Paul, and they're talking to the Lakers on his behalf, being Rich Paul, right? So very clever. They're saying LeBron James has not had any discussions with the Lakers about the coaching, but I'm fairly positive his representatives have. And I just think it's kind of funny how this is all kind of geared towards AD. I don't know if it's meant to take the pressure off a little bit, to protect JJ a little bit. I don't think that AD was going to sign up for being the full-fledged fall guy for something that he wasn't really pushing for. So I think this was Bron and AD equally pushing for JJ, and the AD has agreed to kind of take this to kind of protect JJ and install a little bit of trust here. If you guys remember, I said Coach K being linked to this, Rondo's name being linked to this, even Dudley's name being linked to this, are all clever kind of a little bit of a sales job here to get Laker Nation to have a little bit of trust in this process. If they come away from this with JJ Redick, which half of Laker Nation seems to not be on board with, however, you come in and you bring in Rondo, who Laker Nation have wanted for a long time. You bring him in, right? You maybe bring Dudley in too, two guys that you won a championship with. And then that kind of starts to gain a little trust there. So I see what they're doing. Then you attach Coach K's name to the process, and it makes everyone feel a little bit more warm and fuzzy inside about the idea. And I think that's smart. I'm not buying it as far as the selling job of it, but I think it is smart though. And to be honest, I don't think it's a terrible idea. I just think it's clever the way they're going about it. Jeremy, what's going on, Jeremy? He says, Drake was my GOAT rapper until K-Dot went nutso last night. Wah, 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 right? Like last night. Plus, Kobe compared K-Dot to himself in an old interview. Drake lucky he got crushed while in his prime is done. Biggest takedown since Ja. Yeah, man, that was when you know what I said up there when I was watching this live, and I was like, yo, when he gets up there, and I was like, I said it on Twitter. I was like, you almost can't do this song once because you got to let the crowd rock. You got to let them scream a minor for, like, you know what I mean? You got to let them have that. And I go, then he's going to just fill the stage up with a bunch of people showing how deep he's backed, right? And how many people are rocking with him. So I said both of those things, and then that happened because it just made sense, right? And then he was basically out there crowd surfing on a diss record, and we've never seen a record like that. We've never seen a record like that. And when I say this, it sounds crazy. It really, really does. But I was here for both of them, and I can tell you this: it sounds crazy to say this. I have never heard a song shake this city as much as California Love did, and this one is crazy. Not Like Us is crazy. This city, I always said that California Love, when that song hit, it shook the city like an earthquake. Like it just, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing it. Not Like Us is just everything, man. I this morning at 6:45 in the morning, like literally out and about in the street, you were just hearing Kendrick everywhere. From my whole commute to work, in traffic, Kendrick everywhere. I've not seen the city so locked in on an artist like this since Pac. Like, granted, God rest his soul, when Nipsey passed away, there was a lot of people bumping Nip, but an average like casual like fan kind of did, but kind of went away from it. Well, I take that back. That they still. Well, what I'm saying is, it wasn't to this level. You get what I'm saying? There was a bunch of people who started listening to Nipsey after he passed that didn't listen to him prior. He got bigger, like a lot of artists do after they passed. Nip had a major following already, but he got bigger in his passing. This is where like Pac, when he did California Love, signed to Death Row, got bigger while alive, but then Pac obviously passed away. K-Dot is just going ballistic right now, out there killing it, able to do this show. And what he did last night was incredible. I know it's a sports show. I'm going to get back to that right now, but that was just so major and so incredible. I couldn't even do the show last night, yo. I couldn't even do the show. I was so hyped up. I was so locked in. Hip-hop took all the basketball out of my heart last night, and it was just all about hip-hop last night. And it was just absolutely incredible. And when Dr. Dre got up there, did Still DRE, did California Love, walked up and said, "I see dead people." I was like, yo. I was like, man, it was absolutely incredible. And shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. Incredible performance. Everyone that got up there and did their thing. Shout out to everyone that was there and in attendance, man. Incredible night. But appreciate y'all, man. The Laker front office better due diligence to surround this guy with the right coaching staff and right players around him. And that's what it is right there. So shout out to you for pulling up. I appreciate you. That's exactly what it is right there. So they've got to get, first and foremost, the assistants got to be priority number one. Then the draft has to be priority number two. And then obviously free agency and the roster got to be priority number three. They're all top level priorities, what I'm talking about in wave of, right? This assistants, like we've got to know who is this staff. We need to know this in a couple of days as far as the top guy, right? We need to know who the next two guys are. You can fill in some other guys later, but we need to know who's second chair, who's third chair. We need to know that ASAP. Like we need that like water. Like we need to know that. And as soon as we know that, then it's going to make us feel a little bit more comfortable or uncomfortable with this hire. And if they come in and like I said, there's 3 or 4 guys that none of us have heard of, yo, Laker Nation is going to be like, say what? Then it's back to that Darvin stuff again, right? But they're paying him probably double that they paid Darvin, even the same amount of years. So I'm starting to get a little hopeful. I got to be careful here. I'm treading lightly because this team has driven me nuts when it came to matters such as this. I'm starting to get a little hopeful that maybe, I don't know if I want to use that word yet, even hopeful. I'm starting to, yeah, okay. I'm going to say I'm starting to get a little hopeful that they're going to spend a little bit here, that they're going to get some quality assistants and surround JJ with guys who can make a difference. And because they almost have no choice, chat. They almost have no choice. If they don't get this right, if they don't do this, if they don't bring in someone that can help JJ develop, help him in the trenches, help him when he's got questions. I do think it's great that he can pick up the phone at any time and reach out to Coach K. Don't sleep on that. I think that's a major, major thing there. He's got one hell of a mentor to reach out to. Okay. But outside of that, when you're in the trenches, he's not going to call Coach K during the game. Right. So maybe halftime, but not during the game. But these other guys, they're absolutely need to be important. And we need more dogs. You know, we need more dogs on the roster. We need dogs on the bench. So JJ got dog in him. If you get someone like Rondo, he's got dog in him. Okay. So we need more of these guys who are going to challenge these players, challenge the refs. And I'm telling you, I think one of the biggest things here, because as toxic as the Lakers season was last year, Darvin Ham was absolutely horrible in post-game, pre-game, halftime, whatever it was. He was horrible in all of his dealings with the media. Now, I think JJ is going to be much better than that, having come from the media and having, got experience in that and knowing what he's doing his podcast, doing basketball analysis, sitting across from the likes of Stephen A. Smith and Mad Dog and dealing with these guys and even doing a podcast with LeBron and trying to navigate and get between getting his mind there and pick his brain on basketball. Like, I think that he's going to be able to hold that down. I've said it before. I could see him flat out tell Stephen A. Smith, pull up, come sit at a Laker game, come challenge me in person. Like, I could see him taking it for the team where Darvin wasn't able to do that. Like, if Jeannie and Rob hire this guy, you got to take the bullets for the franchise here, man. Get up there, bark back, be a dog. And I think he's going to protect the franchise. I think he's going to, give back to the media what they give to the team. And I think the team needs that from a perspective. And I think that's going to absolutely help. I do see, and I said this before, I swear to God, man, if you go back and watch the video, I said this 2 days before the article came out. I bet you the Lakers probably see some, and I'm going to be careful with my words here because the article went further than what I intended it to, is what I was saying was that as the Lakers could see some of that fiery young Pat Riley in him. And that is true. That is true. I'd be insane, asinine to assume that he was going to have his success. That goes without saying. But his feistiness, his nastiness, his snarliness, like all that, like he has that. He definitely has that. And if you add Rondo to the picture too, then you've got that. And that's exactly what the Lakers need at this point. And hopefully that's exactly what he turns out to be. Jeremy says, bro, my Pirates are coming. He's still coming at me with the Pirates. Bro, my Pirates are coming, by the way. And by the way, I think JJ is going to be a great hire because he understands today's NBA player, the culture, and how they need to be coached and managed. See, there's that. I think a lot of these older style coaches, the game has passed them by. I think a lot of them, came in here. And even though Darvin was a rookie head coach, he comes from the old NBA. And by the time he got his keys to the car, he didn't get a brand new car. You know what I mean? He was almost doomed from the jump. He should have never been the guy from the jump. He was never even a number 2 assistant, right? He was was he? I mean, I know he moved up the ranks, but what I'm saying is like, he never was going to be the guy, right? So JJ, like, I'm not feeling that at all with him. They had a very small pool of candidates. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But they got the guy that pretty much they should have got when the dust settled and when considering who all was available. So, but outside of that, I'm excited for the fact that they did get him. They did give him $8 million a year, like I said, over 4 years. It's a pretty big commitment to a rookie head coach at $8 million per year. They typically hadn't been spending on a head coach like that since Phil Jackson. So that's interesting. They're starting to spend a little bit of money here, which we've been calling them out for. But again, if you spend $8 million on him and then don't spend on your assistants, what is the point of doing it? All right. If you're going to invest in that head coach, you have to invest in those who are sitting on the bench with him. It is imperative. It is all for naught if you don't go out and get those guys. I'm going to continue to say this. If there is more than one name on that bench that we don't know, it is going to be a problem. All right. It's going to be a problem. We need guys who know what they're doing on that bench, who have done it before, and who are going to be there to assist JJ in this process. So, Marius, what's going on, brother? Let's go. Hopefully, JJ is successful. Man, I'm tired of firing coaches. Yeah, man. So they're going to be paying effectively. I don't know what Darvin got from Milwaukee for an assistant role, but it's not going to be crazy, right? So they're still going to be paying him. Let's say that Milwaukee gave him, I don't know, $1 million. Well, something like that, right? So the Lakers are still paying him $8 million over the next 2 years. So let's say Milwaukee picks up 2 of that over the next 2 years, whatever it may be, right? Then the Lakers still owe him money. So you're adding that money on top of what you're paying for JJ, on top of what you're paying for these assistants. So like, we need this to go right. We can't continue to keep firing these coaches when they got money left in their contracts, and then the Lakers just sitting there not being able to spend more money elsewhere. So I agree with you. Stop firing your coaches. I would take less than $8 million, Jeff, to coach the Lakers. Jeannie should have contacted me. Oh man, that'd have been crazy, right? No, we don't need his fans up in here coaching, man. I keep telling me, Jeff, you should coach the Lakers. Hell no, man. Y'all be wanting me fired by the end of the first quarter, man. I'm nowhere near qualified to coach an NBA basketball team, man. Believe it or not, no one on the internet is. I'm just the only one brave enough to tell you that I know that. So let's see. Lord help us all. Facts. Dante, what's good, brother? What's going on, man? JJ staff up, my boy. Experience help. Facts, man. Facts. My boy Lo, I see you down here, man. I see you pulling up. Let me know if you want to pull up tonight, brother. I got you on the link. Let me know. Let me see what we got here. Let's see. Rajon, Dudley, Phil Handy, Scotty Brooks, and PJ Cardissimo. Your take, Empire. Hey, we need someone to get to blame for the choking, right? So that might as well be PJ. but PJ, nah, I don't want any of those like super old school style guys. I don't want anything like that. If it's gonna be an old school guy, then maybe someone like Stan Van Gundy, because at least he gets some entertainment factor out of that, and he's worked with JJ, something like that, right? Plus his brother's already in LA for the Clippers. I can see something like that. PJ, I don't think I'm gonna roll with that, man. Unless Sprewell is coming too, because that would be must see TV. Deep Prince, what's going on, brother? He said Scott Brooks should be solid lead assistant. Stan Van Gundy would be also good alongside Rondo and bring back Handy. Yeah, like I told you when Handy got let go, like I had told y'all, that it doesn't mean he's gone. And even if he was gone, like I'm telling you, like I like Phil Handy, but it's not the end of the world if he's gone. But if he does come back, then that's great too. You know what I mean? It's no shade toward Handy, but our season does not live or die with Phil Handy being on the team. It just doesn't. Now, the future development of some of the players definitely is going to be, something that's going to need to continue to grow. Like if they keep this pick and if they do get Bronny, then yeah, player development is going to be important. And Phil Handy is definitely great at that. But what I'm saying is it's not like he's the only show in town in the NBA when it comes to that. He's just got the name and the brand, right? But there's plenty of guys out there that do it well. Jeremy says, y'all are overthinking. JJ has to create a scene to show the real hell, get in LeBron. That's a hot take, bro. I disagree with my G. I'm telling you, you know what? I have seen, and you'll hear that's not Jeremy. That is not the first time it's happened in this league. It will not be the last. It happens in baseball all the time. All right. So what I'm saying is it's all about getting buy-in, right? And I could see LeBron or JJ intentionally picking something with the other in front of the team just to show that they could do it, right? Maybe they're both not in on it, but I guarantee there's going to be something at some point that's going to be designed to take away that thought of like he favors LeBron, because that's what took down Darvin, right? So I could see that happening for sure. You had Udonis Haslem already talking about it. He was already saying that, the guys are already going to be looking at him in that locker room when it comes to Braun, right? So that's already been brought up. It's already been said. So as a result of that, like they almost have to do something, man. JSJ, what's going on, bro? One of our assistants have to be a former head coach. Facts. Tamika, hello to you as well. Thank you for pulling up. Jacob, what's going on? I said, stay safe, bro. You as well. I appreciate you. Dante says, damn, shooting and stabbing. Wow, yeah, man, it was wild. I got home. I went to let Lucky outside, and there was helicopters everywhere. Heard sirens. I'm like, what's going on? We usually take Lucky for 2.5, 3 mile walk before I come and do the show. And, families like texting, like, this is going on, don't go in. And then I got like less than half a mile away, kind of like part of our walk as well, there was a shooting. So we're like, what is going on here today, man? First day of summer, dudes ain't ready for the heat in LA already, man. What's going on? But yeah, so I did, stay my behind inside. Didn't get lucky on that walk today, but I got to make it up to him tomorrow. Purple and Gold says, what's going on, Purple and Gold? I'm kind of excited about JJ. I think that's what we need. Little arrogance and a little a-hole. Yeah, you show me a quality head coach, a great head coach, and tell me they don't have those two attributes. And if they don't show it on camera, I guarantee you they do behind the scenes. You got to be, look, I've always said, to make it to top tier in politics, you have to have sold your soul a long time ago. To make it top tier in athletics, you have to have that cockiness, that arrogance, being a-hole. You have to have all that at some point, because you got to be able to turn you got to be able to move on from teammates. You can't cut it. You got to go and when it comes to this coach not where you're trying to win, and when certain people can't cut it or not, right? So you got to have some of that cutthroat in you. You just absolutely have to. The nice guys don't make it to the top in this league, and a lot of parts of business, they don't make it to the top like that, because it just falls apart. Like you get ran down if that's the case. So you got to have some of that in you. It's good to be both. It's good to be in the heat of competition and being on your game, but also being respectful. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to walk that line too. Let's see. JSJ says, not gonna lie, I want Stan Van Gundy and Dave Yeager as assistants. I've heard Dave Yeager mention that all. Deep Prince says that Caruso trade was crazy. Bulls didn't even get a second rounder. If it was the Lakers, they would have asked for an entire first round and a promising young player. Well, yeah, so they clearly believe highly in Giddey. And with Alonzo Ball probably out of there, they needed someone to replace him. Caruso only had 1 year left. They clearly weren't going to extend him. And this is a weak draft this year that everyone's saying, right, from a perspective of star level players. So they figured, look, we're probably not going to keep him. We're probably going to lose him. Let's go get a young player on the league that we like, that we would take on and start and go from there. They zeroed in on Giddey. So That's what they wanted. Yeah, the Lakers, you probably weren't going to get him for, if you're going to be giving them Gabe, then yeah, it would have required a draft pick. But a young talent like Giddey, that kind of is more value what the Lakers could offer. So I thought there'd be more. I legit thought there would be at least a pick there, but it didn't end up being there. And clearly they value Giddey highly. Jeremy says, do you think hot take culture is killing sports debates and relevancy? No one makes educated points, just loud clickbait material to go viral, my G. Yeah. That's why I typically don't do it. I kind of stay away from that. Sometimes I say stuff that I don't view as a hot take, but some people kind of take it as. But I'm not a hot take guy. I think hot take is just a way to let people be part of the conversation that have no business in the conversation. I think there's a lot of hot take channels like that don't really break down the game very well. They just throw nonsense and see what sticks. So like at the end of the day, you can clearly separate, just make your rounds today of this coverage today. You're going to see the difference. But it's just a lot of times is people do that to drive the views, the clicks. But at the end of the day, if you just put quality content, the people are going to come anyways. You don't got to be doing all that. Dave Yeager would be solid too. Or Hollins is retired. He's got medical issues. Former Vogel assistant. Not sure if he's still coaching. No, D Prince. He's out the game, man. Unfortunately, man stabbing and gang banging, dogs running around in your studio, going crazy over there. Be careful, Jeff. Yeah, this all happened. Like it was. So my brother-in-law and sister-in-law came by with their dog right now, so they started going crazy with Lucky right as I started the show. And I got like the wood floors in here. So when they came in here, they were just cutting it up over here, man. It looked like the stage at the Forum last night, man. It was crazy. Omari says, yo, JJ must be really a competitor. I mean, the pressure of coaching the Lakers, bro, is on another level. He would have said no and take the Cavs job or another job. That's not as hard. Yeah, I mean, we know that he turned down Charlotte, right? So he was zeroing in on this job. And he probably could have leveraged more money out of the Pistons. But he zeroed in and wanted this job. And like I said, there, I guess, you're right. There was some type of value in that, right? We're going to have to wait and see what that is and what that turns out to be because we do not yet know. We don't know yet. JG, what's going on, man? I thought Detroit fired Monty because they wanted JJ Redick. Nah, man, come on. That was, when that went out today, I knew that was ridiculous. They fired Monty because from what I understood, and I've heard this from a few people, and I've even heard it started to pick up nationally, is that they were over him. Like they were pretty much over him, just like Phoenix was. And it was almost like buyer's remorse shortly after the fact that they got him. And listen to me when I tell you this, because I don't think enough attention is being paid to this. No one pays you $65 million to go away, unless you're Kanye West, right? No one pays that, especially the Detroit Pistons who are going nowhere. Like, no one pays you $65 million to go away. That just doesn't happen. The fact that they did that is an indictment on him. Like, you got to be real about that. You have to be. What's going on, big baby? JHA says, man, I wish Search and Destroy is here and Kurt Affair is MIA. Am I the only mod left? Yeah, man, the mods been ghosting, man. I was thinking the other day, man, I might just wipe the mods out and just mod the channel myself, man. I ain't got no mods pulling up, no mods in the comment section, no mods sharing. Like, the mods ain't modded, man. What's going on? But it's a summertime. Dudes got stuff to do. I understand. But sometimes you get used to it. Hey, now you got to start watching things yourself while you're doing the show and all that. But still appreciate you being here, JSJ. Let's see. Christopher Silva says, Cassell must have bombed in his interview. He was a top-tier college player, top-tier pro with ring, top-tier assistant with ring. Thought he was a solid choice over JJ. Yeah, so you know what? I think because he's been an assistant for so long, trying to get a head coaching job for so long, I think that Sam Cassell just had too many similarities to Darvin. And I think Lakers were going in a different direction. They wanted a new wave. They wanted a new kind of like style, a new direction. And I think they got that. So hiring Cassell after they failed Luke Walton, the failed Darvin Ham, like I said, the JJ thing is completely different than anything they've done. And it is clearly to them, they, like I said, is seen as the more of a higher ceiling than these other guys here, man. Sendo says, "Oh, I don't want Monty. I take JJ over Monty and Borrego and Gasell as the head coach." Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying. Patrick says, "Jeff, could the Cavs head coach decision a sign of the Mitchell situation?" It could be. We just may not know. So let's say if Mitchell's particularly into one of those coaches, and let's say he wants Borrego, right? And let's say the Cavs really want Atkinson. I don't know this. I'm just saying. But let's say that they want Borrego, and let's say, that Mitchell wants Borrego, but the Cavs really want Atkinson. Now, they'll be like, look, Atkinson would be our choice. But if you're going to be here long term and you being our best player, this is who you want to play for, then we'll go that direction, but we need that commitment from you. And that's where it would be kind of like on him. He'd be like, well, that's my guy, but I'm not giving you the commitment. And that's where the Cavs start realizing, okay, wait a minute. This has potential to blow up in our face here. And that's kind of something they're going to have to look for and pay attention to. And that's very well what could be going on right now. We just don't know yet. Big Baby says, this news is taking over the Celtics championship. Nah, that was like 2 days ago. You had K-Dot yesterday. Like Celtics got there. It's, believe me, this ain't interrupting anything in Boston. I'll tell you that right now. All right. It ain't interrupting nothing in Boston. They're still out there living it up, man. Duprin says, they got us hanging for like a whole month. Relieved we finally got a coach. That's all that matters. Next waiting game, D'Lo and Braun decisions on contracts. Yeah. Those are very big decisions. I'm kind of hoping Braun opts out for the simple fact that saves the Lakers roughly $4.5 or so million, which could help them put more money into assistants. So if he opts out and resigns, there's actually less money tax-wise than money for the Lakers. That is the discount. That is the hometown discount. If he opts in and extends in August, then that costs the Lakers a little bit more. So to be honest, him opting out is team friendly. So keep that in mind. D'Lo, I still stand on the fact that I think that it is becoming more increasingly possible that he does opt in. I still favor him opting out right now. However, if word continues to come back to him that he's not a first or second option to a team, he may realize that he may miss out in this market and may end up less than what the Lakers can offer as far as what he's got on that option. So I've heard that multiple times. I'm not playing you guys. I've heard that multiple times. And you guys know I've been saying that for a couple of weeks. And you started to hear some reports come out this week saying that that now they're kind of losing confidence that maybe some of those offers are really out there. And so we'll see what happens. I would say this much right now. There was a point where I was saying 90-10, he's opting out. I'm to a point where I am like 65-35 that he's opting out. But that's growing. That is growing by the day. So we'll wait and see. But I think there is more of a chance that he will opt in than what anyone thinks right now. We got Ryan. What's going on, Ryan? Thanks for pulling up, man. I appreciate you. What do you think D'Angelo Russell will do with the player option? I don't know yet. We just touched on that, but I think we will know. I think we'll start getting some type of clarification soon. Because here's the thing: like if the Lakers and D'Lo have decided that they're not going to be married to each other anymore as far as come future, right? And then maybe D'Lo, there's a team he wouldn't mind going to, but they don't have cap space. So like then they could, D'Lo could opt in. The Lakers could trade him to that team if there's someone on that roster or someone's on that roster that the Lakers would want, and then they can make the move D'Lo, get that player. D'Lo gets to where he wants to be, and then when he's a free agent next summer, that team then has his bird rights. They can extend him. So this is just one scenario. Okay, there's many scenarios out there, but I could see that happening, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Of course, Savage says Monk resigning is surprising. Could have gotten more in free agency, but also hurts the Lakers with D'Lo. But Magic still going after Clay and Paul George, and from the sound of PG want the max money, Magic could pay. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So my thing is this. So with that rule of being able to speak and sign with your own free agents prior to anyone else meeting for them kicked in this summer, right? So the day after the NBA Finals. So Malik Monk, Pascal Siakam did his. Now Malik Monk. I said I felt Malik Monk was going to get between $70 and $80 million. And if you hit the open market, maybe even as high as up to $100 million. But I felt between 70 and 80 was realistic. I knew that I think the max of what the Kings could give him was the $78 million that he got. That's a great deal for him. I'm happy for him. That's a great deal for them. They locked him in. They didn't get into a bidding war. But you're right. Now that takes him out of play for Orlando for Philly and for OKC. Now, speaking of OKC, they made that move for Caruso today. So maybe, that solves up that. But I still think OKC is going to be heavy players for Hartenstein out of New York. I think there is a strong chance that Isaiah Hartenstein ends up on the OKC Thunder. And after adding Caruso and then potentially Hartenstein, that team they were number 1 seed last year, but as far as early. But man, they're going to get better for sure, man. LOE says paying him nicely, can't skimp on spending these assistants now. Got to be all in. Facts, Lo. Facts, brother. Savage says my favorite trade option that came up was a sign-in trade for Miles Bridges. Hornets don't want to pass a certain number. Rui, Gabe, JHS, Hayes. Maybe a lot of protected first for Miles, Nick Richards, and man. The only problem with that, Savage is the Lakers can't do a sign and trade in. They can do inside and trade out, but they can't do a sign and trade in. That's not going to be possible for them. So that deal technically wouldn't work. Go James, what's going on, brother? How you doing, Chris? I heard you cooking over there on DJ's channel earlier today, man. It was funny over there today. Appreciate you tuning in, man. We got Roy up in the building saying, what's up, Roy? He says, Jeff, what did you think of Caruso Giddey trade? I thought when it first went down, I just kept thinking there has to be more to this, right? There has to be more. I thought for sure there would be more. But then they dropped and it wasn't. So a little surprised by that. But like I said, Chicago clearly had their eye on a player like Giddey, taking over for Lonzo Ball. And they weren't going to extend or re-sign Caruso. So they got what they felt was a player that they're going to keep for a while, man. Kareem, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, man. I know I'm getting to this comment a little late. If you're still in here, I appreciate the support. Make sure to pull up on the Kareem report, man. Subscribe over there if you haven't done so already, as well as LOE, man. Lakers over everything. Pull up on him as well. Subscribe. Low coming out of retirement soon. I'm telling you, man, he about to dust off that gold mic and pop back up on you, man. So appreciate you both for tuning in. Kareem, I hope you're doing well, brother. We'll got to reach out soon. People soon. Kareem, that's what's up. That's what's up. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's going on, man? Appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to pull up on Daniel Berry Sports Highlights too. He got a channel, man. So we got Knowledge in the building. What's going on, Knowledge, man? Appreciate you tuning in, man. I haven't seen you in here for a minute, so appreciate you, brother. Hope you're doing well, my guy. Jeff, if Lakers move up in the draft, who are they targeting? I don't know. Probably a big, but maybe even the best player available at that point. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have not spent a lot of time covering or watching college basketball this season. I'm really the wrong guy to talk about college basketball. I got a lot of catching up to do, or kind of crash coursing to do on the NBA draft leading up to it. But I'm behind right now, for real. Kareem says, nah, I'll be back on in the morning. Okay, he's talking to someone else. Me mind my business. Lakers all day. What's going on, bro? He said, since we got JJ, I just want to see him do good. Let's go get DeJounte Murray and a shooter and a slash center. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we got him. We got a root for him, right? And like I said, when it came down to it, considering what was available, I'm not going to lie, this was the guy that I had talked myself into, considering everyone else available. And then when Hurley came out of nowhere, I got excited about that. I ain't going to lie. But throughout this entire process, other than that one weekend with Hurley, this is pretty much what I've been locked in on was JJ. I talked myself into it, and I was sticking with it. Caruso trade bad, but it's 100% reset the trade market. You're onto something there. You're onto something there. So that does help the Lakers. The Lakers didn't get Caruso, but it does help them because a player like Caruso, who the Bulls were rumored to have wanted 2 first-round picks for, moves for no first-round picks. So set the market at a player at a talent level like Giddey gets you a player like Caruso without a first. But if you're going to have a player less than that, like a Gabe or something like that, then you're going to have to pay as far as compensation goes to make that happen. Caruso is getting $80 million, that huge contract. Yeah, I think he does get extended by OKC. I don't think he hits free agency. Bookie Man, what's going on, man? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. JJ won't be head coach for LA because there is no post from the LA Lakers official website, IG, Facebook, X. The Lakers. No, I get it. There's nothing official from the Lakers standpoint yet, but it's official. It's done. It's been done, man. Judah, what's going on, Judah? He said, facts. Been hearing hot takes and hate all day. You don't hear no like you won't get any of your typical type of hot takes here, and you won't get any hate here. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll say something that may be taken as a hot take, but that's definitely not my intention. So I'm not a hot take guy, really, and I'm not a hateful guy. You know what I mean? I talk trash, I mess around, but outside of that, yeah, I don't really live in a hot take world. I think it's a waste of basketball space, man. In my world, man. Dan Inspiration, what's up, brother? JJ can be the Ime Udoka without the scandal. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because a lot of people thought that was going to be Darvin, right? Didn't work out. But look, JJ, he has a lot of that dog in him and that nastiness that they Lakers really, really need, man. And that's a fact. The Guru, what's going on, man? The Lakers needs a hired quality assistant coaches like Terry Stotts, Rondo, Chris Quinn. Yeah, this hire, and I'm going to continue to say this throughout the show, this hire means nothing if the Lakers like kind of wet the bed when it comes to the assistants. If they don't get proper assistants, if they don't get quality top tier assistants, and I'm going to say it again, if there's more than one person, and this is even one is a little too much for me at this point, but I'll take it. If there's more than one name on this coaching staff that we don't know, I'm going to have a problem with it. I'm going to have a problem. So we need names that we know. We need to have names with resumes, track records, accomplishments. There needs to be criteria for who was hired as those assistants, bar none, man. JJ is already the head coach of LA. Yeah, he is. Big Baby says, how do I become a mod? That's a good question. I've got to go in and turn on. I may open up for some more wrenches later. I didn't have a lot of like mods on the channel, especially, you know, it was a smaller channel. It was growing. The majority of my mods have disappeared this summer. So I'm undecided if I'm just going to shut down the mod experiment right now and reopen it like later, like, you know, next season or whatnot. But we'll go from there. But right now I'm thinking of shutting down the mods right now. Bridges, what's up, brother? Excited for the possibility of JJ. Definitely a gamble. Yeah, gamble, man. But sometimes, you know, when you take that gamble, like I said, you hit big. And I need to pre-emphasize this, that when I say this, I'm not comparing him to these people. He has to reach these levels to be on that. But it doesn't change the fact that the example is there. Someone had to take a chance on Phil Jackson, take a chance on Pat Riley, take a chance on Eric Spoelstra, take a chance on Steve Kerr. They had to take chances on all of these guys, right? And these guys were not sure things. These guys were not hot commodities. These guys were not in bidding wars. These guys were not, okay? So the NBA legacy is loaded with guys that teams took gambles on. Believe it or not, the ones you always think are the sure thing barely pan out. If you go over those list of names of legacy coaches, the Phil Jacksons, the Pat Rileys, the Greg Popoviches, the Steve Kerrs, Eric Spoelstras, like I said, like these guys, none of these guys were top tier candidates. They were all gambles. And again, I'm going to say, I bookended this because I said it at the beginning of my point, and I'm going to say it at the end of my point. This does not mean that will be JJ. All I'm saying is just there's a precedent there. There's a history of this. The NBA history books are filled with guys teams took gambles on. That's all I'm saying. And hopefully, you know, the Lakers have done it a couple times. So hopefully this one hits. Mari says, Jeff, you think LBJ gave the blessing for the Redick hire, even though he's not involved? Like I said, it was clever. Him saying he hasn't talked to the front office, that's cute and all, but I guarantee you he was talking to his representation who was talking to the Lakers, man. There's no way the Lakers hired a head coach without knowing Braun's feeling on the matter. That's impossible. Purple and Gold says, all I'm asking for JJ, no more 3-guard lineups, please, and give the youth some PT. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The youth is a definite thing. That's a definite problem. But I'm here to tell you guys that the majority of the league runs 3-guard lineups. So you're going to have to do it because the rest of the league does, and you'll get ran off the court if you don't. However, you got to know when to use it and when to run it, which Darvin struggled with. But outside of that, 3-guard lineups are not a detriment in this league. A lot of times it helps you. But yeah, Darvin just used 3-guard lineups without any real strategy behind it. Pookie Man says, it's official, bro. Let's see. Okay, he's not buying it. That's cool. D Prince says, we can grab Vooch from the Bulls. We can offer them D'Lo and Hayes if he opts in, or Rui. If not, just grab Drummond. I would love for them to grab Drummond, but I'm curious to see what happens here because they swapped Giddey for Caruso. Everyone's assuming there's a rebuild there. We have to wait and see. We have to see what they do with Levine. If they just dump him somewhere, like let's say he just gets moved to Detroit into their salary space as a salary dump, then that's a rebuild. If they move Levine for pieces that looks like they're going to try to make the playoffs this year, then they may look to bring back Drummond. The Chicago Bulls, I know a lot of people like to label the Los Angeles Lakers front office as the worst front office in the league, but I'm telling y'all, man, Detroit or over the last handful. I know they just made a change now. We're going to have to wait and see. Detroit, Chicago, New Orleans. There's a lot of teams who have fractured front offices. It's not, and these guys have money, all right? And they're still jacked up, okay? So what I'm saying is I don't know yet how this is going to play out in Chicago yet. I don't know if this is going to go towards a full-fledged rebuild or if they're going to look to get players to continue to hover around a playoff spot, get into the play-in, make a little extra money, and still get a lottery pick. Like that seems to be Reinsdorf's MO. Make the money, make some extra play-in money, get a lottery pick, and then just keep doing that. Rinse, recycle, repeat. Like that seems to be their MO. So we're going to have to see if that stays the course or if that switches up. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, that Zach LaVine deal, however that goes down, will be very telling. No, Woj did not say. Woj said that Kawhi requested the Lakers and then kind of backed out and changed his mind on it once he realized that LeBron was going there. So yeah, Woj said he requested a trade to the Lakers. Popovich wasn't going to accommodate. Those are two different things. You're kind of just halfway telling the story there. Context is important there. Let's see. Patrick says, Jeff, is JJ a better coach for D'Lo? Maybe the Lakers should consider keeping D'Lo because it might work for him as JJ is the coach. Well, it might be something they consider. If D'Lo opts out, then the Lakers almost have to do whatever they can to keep him and get him back. If he opts in, then it opens up the door for multiple other options. So we're going to have to wait and see on that. Depending on what D'Lo's decision is, that's what's going to kind of determine the course that the Lakers take. Okay. So if he opts in, then the Lakers will probably scour the league and see, is there someone out there, potentially a Bruce Brown again, or something like that they can make a move for. If he opts out, then the Lakers are probably going to try to do whatever they can within their power to get him back, for the simple fact that you don't want him to walk for nothing. So depending on how that goes down. Okay, people are talking to each other. Let me mind my business. If D'Lo opt in, would love Cam Johnson and Sharp. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It opens the door for a lot of possibilities if he opts in. Let's see. Okay, I'm not gonna. There's a lot of weirdness. Dan Wonky article said Braun opting out, but's expected to resign with the Lakers. Like I said, Braun opting out helps the Lakers. It does. 1 second, guys. Let me get some water real quick. Braun, like I said, Braun opting out saves the Lakers on some money. So that would be him giving them technically a discount. As crazy as it sounds, him opting out helps the Lakers. Usually that doesn't. Usually them opting out, signing longer term because of his age and the contract that he could sign, it works a little bit different with him. Let's see. JJ Redick he's putting the description of him. Oh my God, here we go. Eric Kwan, what's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I'm gonna have to start reading these chats because people are talking to each other. I be doing that Ron Burgundy stuff sometimes, man. So does the Bulls trade reset the market? It does a little bit until the next trade. If another trade comes in that resets it again, then yeah. But right now the market is reset a little bit until the next trade. So it does make the buyers gives them a little bit of wiggle room there. It does. Stay up. What's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in, man. I appreciate you. Top 5 good drafts for the Lakers. Ron Holland, Ware, Edie, Silva, Carter. My 6th guy is Holmes. Kid looks solid too. Like I said, we clearly know they need a big man. Unless they're getting some type of indication they're going to be able to get a big man in free agency. If they kind of know they have a chance at Drummond, we saw that the Brook Lopez situation is kind of in flux in Milwaukee. So maybe they think there's a way for them to get a big outside of the draft, and in that case, maybe they go with the best player available, a wing or a guard, and maybe like JHS or Gabe or one of these guys are using the trade. We don't know where they're at with talks with these other teams, so it's hard to tell what they're looking to draft at this point because we don't necessarily know what moves they're anticipating down the road. Once we do, things become a little bit more clear. Hanson, what's going on, brother? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you as always. Let's see. One Peruvian guy, what's going on, brother? Thank you for tuning in. Chow Lee, hello to you as well. Hi, Empire Jet TV. Let me ask you a question. What are your expectations for JJ Redick? I think JJ Redick has a chance to be a solid head coach. I can't sit here and pretend that I can predict what he's going to be, but I know he's a smart guy. I know he knows the ins and outs of basketball. I know he's a fiery competitor. These things are all needed in that position. Time will tell, but the assistant coaches who they bring in as an assistant is pretty much going to make or break this out the gate. It really is. And if they go cheap on that, there's going to be some problems. Right. So I think he has a chance to be a solid head coach. I think he has a high ceiling. Like I said, it could be, this has potential to be a home run hire and a guy that's here for the next 10 years, or it has a chance to be horrific and he's gone in 2. You know what I mean? That's it. I think it's either, I think it's incredible or terrible. I don't think he's just an average head coach. I don't think it gets there. But you know, as with everything, because we don't have anything to base it off of, there is no track record. It would be foolish for me to, you know, assume anything other than me just believing that he has a chance to be a home run hire because of the things that I mentioned. But outside of that, coaching staff is going to be important. What does this roster look like? These are all things that's going to help determine this. Bulls trying to make it seem like there's a lot of interest in Levine. Sixers reporter already came out and said they're not interested. Seems like they're trying to trade him without giving up assets. I think they could trade him without giving up assets. I'm not sure they're going to be able to trade him and recoup assets. So like I said, a team like Orlando, if they strike out in free agency, a team like Detroit, I could see those guys taking him for free. You know, we'll just sliding him into cap space if they can't get, like, you know, a star level, all-star level player. I could see one of those teams just taking him into cap space. I could definitely see that happening. But again, we're going to have to wait and see. What does Paul George do? Malik Monk is now off the market. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with some of these guys here. How can JJ build and change the culture? Well, off top, he has LeBron James respect. So I don't think there's been a single head coach that's come in since LeBron has been here that has had that. So that's a leg up. Plus Anthony Davis out the gate. So the two guys are already on board, right? Clearly the front office is they just hired you. They paid you the most money they've paid any coach since Phil Jackson. So these are things trending in the right direction. Now it's, what does this roster look like? What do you do if Austin Reeves stays? What can you unlock him to take another leap? Can he take another leap? I know it was kind of some flux with Darvin pulling him in and out of the starting lineup early on, and then kind of rotational wise was a little, you know, if he, the Olympic situation, if he can get Austin to get another leap, I don't think Austin can leap much more, but if they can get him to just take a slight leap, if he can get him going, if Vando can stay healthy and they get him going, I don't know what moves are going to be made yet and who he's going to be working with for us. Coaching wise, I don't know who's going to be on the roster. So we're going to have to wait and see for all that. Vuk is trash. Old, no defense, one of the worst shooters in the league last season. No, thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't want Vuk just because he's $20 million as another big. You don't need a big like that making $20 million because then you can't get that guard. You can't get that point of attack defender. You can't get those 3-and-D wings. You could get a big without spending $20 million. I'm surprised Vando, when mentioned with the young core, he's only 25 and Rui is 26. Yeah. Max Christie is a must-sign player. Any reason why the Lakers might let him go? No, I mean, they can match a deal. He's a restricted free agent. I think he comes back. I think he stays. Eric Kwan says, who is the next guard to get moved on the trade market? Well, Trae Young put the hourglass out there today. So I think Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, potentially Donovan Mitchell, like I said, Zach LaVine, maybe Paul George. If the Clippers cannot come to an agreement with him on his deal, maybe he opts, maybe they work with him, he opts in to get moved somewhere else. And maybe, you know, then he could I think it's how long after that? I think it's again in August. I think he'd be able to sign an extension with that new team. And maybe the Clippers can recruit some draft capital they gave up to get George along with someone else, right? But I think that there is a potential for that. No one's really talking about that, but I think people think that he just opts out and leaves or resigns there. And I think there's something in play there where he could opt in and still get traded to where the Clippers can get something back for him. Crenshaw, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in, man. What's good, Jeff? I just joined. Did you mention the staff you want to join JJ? Yeah, I mentioned a bunch of different names, but I don't, like I said, we don't know who they're going to be. But pretty much all the names that are out there, like I said, the Sam Cassells, the Girardellis, the Rondos, the Scott Brooks, Stan Van Gundy's of the world, like any of those guys, but obviously like not knowing for sure yet who it's going to be. That second and third name needs to drop already, though. Like we need to know who the number 2 guy is, because that's going to help really start to solidify this hire. Like if they say, okay, they come out and it's someone like a Stan Van Gundy or Scott Brooks or a Monty Williams, which I don't think it will be. I'm just saying, like, a name that's been to an NBA Finals, coached at NBA Finals, or won an NBA Finals. Like at the end of the day, I'm saying, if that number 2 guy comes in, I'm like, oh, okay. And the number 3 guy, oh, okay. And then, they bring Handy back and add someone like a Rondo. Then there's, like I said, there's some names out there that can make Laker Nation feel a little warm and fuzzy there about this coaching staff. They just got to execute that and pay these guys, man. James Caldwell, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you tuning in, man. Shout out to all the members in the room. I greatly appreciate y'all. Shout out to everyone who's in the building overall. We got 80 people in the room right now on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, please drop a like on the video, man. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And in the description, I got a bunch of links of things I'm affiliated with, Fun Fanatics, from the Code 118 wallets. And to become a member, that's the first link in the description. For less than the cost of lunch, you become a member for a month. Member-only videos, some vlogging, some giveaways. This summer is going to be popping with some videos on there for members only, man. You're going to see a different side of me, a different kind of day in the life type stuff for membership there. So it's kind of like doing a super chat, but you do it once a month and you become a member, and it just become a member to the channel. We got 3 different tiers. We got the mini mid-level, the mid-level, and the full mid-level. And like I said, if you go to the description, it's the first link there to become a member. And then drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everyone over on Twitter right now, too. You're rocking heavy over there with over 60 people watching on Twitter right now. Make sure to like the post, repost the post, comment on the post, spread it out there in the universe. And for y'all on YouTube as well, share the video to your socials if you can. Help grow the channel, man. Over the last couple of weeks, we've made some great progress in the game here with adding people to the channel, subscribers, views, all that going up, man. So it's going in the right direction. I'm pacing fairly well for people that are doing double the videos of me, and I'm kind of pulling my own weight equal to that tier, even with half the videos. So appreciate y'all, man. And like I said, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. You'd be greatly appreciated, man. JSJ says, it seems like the Sixers are heavily interested in PG. I think, the report came out today saying they're not interested in him, but I'm not fully buying that. I think they're starting to leak that to make it like if he does sign there, so there's no tampering. So I think they're kind of going out of their way to make it seem like they're not interested in him. I'm not completely sold on that. We're gonna have to wait and see on that and see what comes out from it there. Tyrone, what's going on, brother? Scott Brooks assistant. Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be bad. You know what I mean? But we're gonna have to wait and see. We just need someone, and that's someone who's coaching an NBA Finals. He's coached superstar players, and he's a guy that's kind of an NBA lifer as well. Back to his playing days. So I wouldn't mind him, but we just need to know who that guy is soon. Trae Young to Bulls, maybe. I think he definitely gets moved. I think you got someone like him and someone like Levine. Well, I think Trae Young has more value than Levine. It doesn't mean there's not a natural kind of mix there. But as far as trading for each other, but Trae Young, I definitely think gets moved. How about Jimmy Bucket? Think he's also on the move? I don't know. I can't get a read on that. I don't know teams that would want to trade for him and extend him. Maybe Philly, but even that, like, you really want to do that? At his age, he's barely playing during the regular season. You're gonna have to trade for him at that high number and extend him. I don't know, man. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do that, man. Appreciate you, JSJ. I see you dropped the links in the chat, man. Laker Life, what's going on, man? He said PG-13 podcast is better than yours. Why would he leave LA? Makes sense of that, Jeff, because that's how he's getting all the guests on the show. He says, okay, his podcast is better than mine. I agree with you. I agree with you. But I mean, it's not about him wanting to leave LA. It's about him wanting to get a max deal. And if the Clippers don't offer him the max deal, he's looking at it like, yeah, Kawhi took less than the max because he's always out. He's always hurt. He's never here come playoff time. I want that max. I'm not taking less. And if he leaves, it will be because he's going to go somewhere to get that max. So while I agree, he does have a better podcast than mine, and this isn't a podcast. But however, I can see him leaving LA. I could. Let's see. Nah, Paul George does a great podcast, man. I'm not going to sit up here and act like mine is better than his. He's got a really good podcast, really, really good. Also, he's an NBA player. He's got great insight. He's very good at what he does. The crew is dope. The guests are dope. I like Paul George's podcast when I get a chance to watch it. So I definitely don't take that as an insult, man. I don't. I just laughed. This is what but he does great work over there, man. Let's see. The one and only. What's going on, man? What would be Wemby's stats next season? By the way, love what you were doing. Hey, thank you, man. One and only. Appreciate you. Wemby, I don't know, because I'm waiting to see, are the Spurs going to unlock him? Are they going to give him a traditional point guard? Are they going to let him go as hard as he wants to go? Are they going to kind of wheel him back in? Are they going to be tanking still and not let him be at his full potential? Are they going to try to keep him healthy? Who is he playing with? Like, all of these things come into play, but I do not think we are too far off from him getting close to 30 a game. I really don't. And by year 3, I think the league is in trouble. I think he's going to take an incredible leap next year, but I think by year 3, the league is going to be in trouble. But I thank you, one and only, for tuning in. I appreciate you. Hope to see you around here more. Thank you. Savage says, I'm not interested in D'Lo at all. Doesn't seem like Magic wanted to give him a huge contract either. I don't think anyone's going to give him a huge contract, but I do believe he has interest out there for sure. He said, cue the playoff P toilet sounds. Here we go by popular demand. He's hit it with the damn. The toilet button wasn't done flushing over there. My fault, y'all. Bridges says EPJ over PG. Hey, appreciate you, Bridges. But again, he's got an incredible podcast, man. Incredible. He does great work over there. What's going on, Rodell? Appreciate you, brother. What's up, Empire Jeff? You think JJ will employ 2 big lineup and get a proper point guard that will actually throw lobs or set up AD properly for more than one half? You know what? I don't know. You have to still consider that you still have Braun, right? Braun's not going to play a lot of 3. He's going to play 4. I think what the Lakers don't need to start 2 bigs, but I think there's times where they need to have 2 bigs in a lineup. I think that AD can play the 4 and the 5, and I think that having a bruising big to come in and relieve him and also play with him in stretches will help him tremendously. But AD is going to start at the 5. Braun is going to start at the 4. Their 1, 2, and 3 needs to be upgraded defensively is what I really think is the biggest key here, because if you upgrade defensively 1, 2, and 3, or 1 and 3, or 1 and 2, then that takes a lot of pressure off Anthony Davis. It also makes LeBron play a little bit better defense because he doesn't have to gamble as much. So that's the key to it, mainly, even more than a big. Their biggest problem was that perimeter defense. And then it just really wears down AD when those guys are getting to the paint at will. So getting a bruising big that can play 15, 18 minutes a game is crucial and important. But that guard defense is imperishable. Like that is absolutely needed this offseason. PG-13 podcast is more important than his NBA career now. He's got a good show, man. He's got a career. You know, we kind of got to witness this early stage of this, as Draymond calls, new media, right? But where you're gonna have all these players just linking up. So you're gonna see they got these podcasts, and then you're gonna see like a network of just like, it's gonna be someone come in, and it's gonna be all these players got money and all this, but it's gonna be these guys coming in with producers and graphic designers, artists, sound guys, video guys, and all this, and just line up, 15, 20 players, put them together, link them up, and it's going to be a whole network of athletes while they're playing, while they're in the game. And it's a true thing that I think is coming before and faster than anyone realizes. And the fact that we got to see kind of the birth of that is kind of cool. We got to see the entry level to it. Hold on a second. Okay, never mind. We got to see the entry level of that. So I think it's kind of cool. I know people are kind of split. People think I hear a lot of people saying like, well, is LeBron and is JJ still going to do his podcast? Or Bron wasn't thinking about basketball while he was doing that podcast. Like, they were talking about basketball. How was he not thinking about basketball? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, these guys have lives when they're not playing games, when they're not working out, when they're not practicing. I'd much have LeBron be on a podcast talking basketball than at home watching TV, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. These guys aren't going to be basketball 24/7 as far as on the court preparing for a game. Like, not even Kobe did that. You know what I'm saying? He had kids. He had a family. He had other things he did. He had businesses and stuff. So at the end of the day, if Bron decides to talk basketball between his regiments, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Laker Life says, good stuff, brother. Glad you can laugh. Yeah, I told you, man, as long as people are respectful, what you said wasn't disrespectful. What you said was true to you. And I'm perfectly fine with it. It was funny. That's why I laughed. Like, I don't expect to be everyone's favorite. I don't expect to be everyone's worst. I don't expect to be everyone's favorite, right? So at the end of the day, I appreciate the honesty. You don't get any shade from me on here. I don't punish people for disagreeing with me. I'm not a weirdo. I don't block people for disagreeing with me. I don't get upset with people challenging my takes. I don't do any of that. This is friendly talk here, man. And I agree with you. I think his show is better than mine. I think he's very good at what he does. PG has a very good podcast, and I think it's going to only get better. I just laughed at it, but I didn't get mad at it. It was funny when you said it. Purple and Gold said, hey, Jeff, have you heard about the Ryan Garcia suspension? That's crazy. $1 million down the drain. I did hear about it. I'm not too up on it. I did see his post when the rumors kind of came out last time, him denying it, like his girl behind him and some other dude. Like, immediately when I saw that, I was like, guilty. I was like, guilty. Nah, I wasn't feeling it. But I don't know enough about the man or about the sport, to be honest with you. Obviously, I don't want to see that happen to anybody. But if you cheat in the game, you cheat in the game. The game gonna hit you back eventually. Savage says, where is DeJounte market at? Haven't heard anything about teams wanting him either. Teams want him, I can tell you that. His market, I would guess that DeJounte's market is going to be either a all-star level player that's a little older, or probably not. In most cases, they may settle for that. But I think if they had their preference, would be a young talent in probably 2 firsts is what I would guess. And they probably would prefer the 2 firsts not be this season. So ideally, if you're looking at the Lakers, then a trade of like Rui, Austin, 29 and 31 would probably be what it takes to get it done. The Lakers would probably hope to get that done with 1 pick. The Lakers would hope that D'Lo opting in and maybe moving him. They would hope for that. But if you're Atlanta, like Rui, Austin, and 2 picks is probably what you're looking for to get that deal done. But again, we'll see what some of these other deals look like. But and that's if those 2 teams, follow up on discussions with each other. I'm sure they will, just for the simple fact of checking in. Like, who knows? The Lakers call and Atlanta's like, look, like, we'll give it to you for 1 pick. That's why you got to call. You got to ask. Sometimes the price drops. Look what happened with Caruso. Like, you'll see these things happen. And so they'll definitely check in. But if Atlanta's like 3 picks, Lakers like, we're not giving you all of our 3 picks for DeJounte Murray. Like, 2 is a stretch for us, especially if you want Austin, right? So I could see them, like, Lakers probably trying to offer 1, Atlanta probably trying to get 3, and maybe they meet in the middle at 2, maybe with some light protection on one of those picks. And but the Lakers will definitely reach out because, like I said, you have to check in. You have to check in. Like, who knows how long? I said during the season, I was saying, man, if Caruso, keep an eye on OKC for Caruso at the trade deadline. I kept saying that. So so those talks had been going on since the season. Didn't happen at the trade deadline, but now it happened now. And the price dropped, and OKC got him for less than what they would have got him for at the trade deadline. Yep. Elder, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you tuning in, man. Make sure to go subscribe to Servants of Yah, Pastor Rufus, man. Great brother over there. Great guy. I hope you're doing well, Elder. Curious to see what you think about this JJ hiring. Like I said, my thing was I didn't see really anything out there. The coaching pool was kind of light. So this one I see is the potentially only one with the high ceiling. Curious to see what you think about it. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Hope you're doing well. Hope you and the family are doing well. Patrick says, Jeff, how about a bruising wingman who can shoot threes and guard centers to play along with AD? Maybe a PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker's not a free agent. I don't see him opting out of his deal. I think he opts into that deal with the Clippers. Now maybe they buy him out, but I don't. He's not a free agent, and I don't see the Lakers and Clippers making a trade moving him. Jeff, not basketball related, but do you watch the Boys TV series and Amazon Prime streaming? I do not. I haven't had a lot of time for TV. I've been working my way through The Wire again because that's my favorite show of all time. Pretty much every 3 to 5 years, I rewatch Sopranos, And like every cycle I watch it, it kind of hits me a little bit different. It's like because I'm 3 to 5 years older, so it's a little bit different when I saw it. But The Wire, rewatching The Wire again, man, that thing just still hits. Like it stood the test of time. You ever watch something when you were younger and watch it again? It's like, okay, that was just for that era. Nah, man, The Wire is still dope. So I'm working my way through that right now. The Power Universe, I've been watching that. When I get done tonight, I'm probably gonna go watch Ghost tonight. If not tomorrow. Outside of that, I haven't been watching a lot. But I have not seen that. I've heard good things about that show, but I've yet to see it myself. Savage says, I don't see a world where Lakers give 29 and 31 for DeJounte Murray. That's almost a superstar package. Nah, you're not gonna get a superstar for 2 firsts. That's about half of what it'll take to get a superstar package. You've seen those going for like 3 or 4. So, like I said, DeJounte, they wanted 3. Just look at what they paid for DeJounte. 3 first swaps. He's already got, was got for more than that. So now the Lakers aren't going to repay Atlanta what they paid. Like that's not going to happen. But 2 first-round picks, I think is possible. Now I don't know if it's going to happen, but I definitely do think that it is possible. DJ, what's going on, brother, man? Make sure to pull up on Lakers in 5, man. Pausing his workout here, his push-ups and dips to salute the chat in here, man. Hope you're doing well, man. I think you're at work tonight, so drive safe. Make sure to go and subscribe to Lakers in 5. Good dude, great channel, great content. A couple times a day. He does that lunchtime stream where he pops up. I always move my lunch break around to watch DJ live. So shout out to DJ, man. I pulled up early to the guys up there tonight, man. it was quite entertaining tonight. So make sure to check out Lakers in 5. Good content, like I said. Great guy, man. Hope you're doing well, DJ. Kane, what's up, bro? Is the D-Lo for Bruce Brown coming? I got a video coming on that soon. I hope that's, you guys know, if you watch the channel for any stretch of time, you know that's something I've hoped for. You know that's something that's almost happened a couple of times. And I'll just tell you that if D-Lo opts in, that makes it a little bit more likely. The person who's kind of been the one who's been 100% spot on through this entire Bruce Brown saga of the Lakers trying to get him since last July. I'm talking to them tomorrow, so I'm trying to get a feel for what that is. You've noticed Toronto has not declined that option yet for Bruce Brown. They have a team option. So they haven't declined that option yet, and D'Lo's option hasn't been made public yet. But we'll touch on that again soon. I have another video coming in the next couple of days on that. But it's definitely possible, King, for sure. Lakers Dodgers for life. What's up, brother? What's up, Jeff? Having in and out and enjoying the show. Hey, appreciate you, man. What's your in and out order? Let me know. Mine is a double animal style chopped chilies on the burger with regular fries. I know it's become popular and trendy to not like In-N-Out fries the last handful of years. I still rock with them. I still eat them for the nostalgic portion of it. I don't get the animal style fries because that just gets a little bit too much. But animal style double chopped chilies on the burger, sometimes extra spread, sometimes well done buns, depending. But traditionally, double animal style chopped chilies, regular fries, and that lemonade, man, that pink lemonade or a shake. But the shake be filling me up too. So that's my order. What'd you get, Lakers Dodgers? I know I'm interrupting your food here. Like, why are you making me type, bro? But that's my order right there, man. Lakers Life says, do you really think Bruce Brown would make that much of a difference? His game is mediocre. Vando could provide what he does, and even Cam if he opts in. So here's the thing about Laker Life, my thing with Bruce Brown. He adds a dimension to the team that they need. Again, more nastiness, another dog, a competitor. He's kind of like a guy who can do multiple things. He doesn't shoot great, but he can shoot. He's not a great scorer, but he can score. He can defend. He can rebound. He can pass. He's good in big moments. You know, he can play on a championship team. You know, he's good playing with superstars. He has a lot of intangible things that can really help a team out. And while he doesn't necessarily do anything great, everything that he does well kind of puts him as a great fit. You get what I'm saying? So I hear where you're coming from on it, but I think that everything he brings to the table are little bits and pieces of what the Lakers need. And he can play multiple positions and guard multiple positions. So with that being said, that's kind of where I'm at with him, but he's not like, he won't give you D'Lo shooting. He's not going to give you Austin's kind of like herky-jerky scoring, being able to get to the free throw line, draw fouls, stuff like that. He doesn't do what some of these guys do, but he does a lot of what those guys don't do. So I think he'd be someone that could really, really help this team from multiple perspectives. Purple and Gold said, I got a hunch we can tie with the Leprechauns championship title next season. Believe Lakers Nation 18 coming. Man, we hope so, man. We hope so. like I said, congrats to Boston, man. They got it done. And then they can talk their mess, and they're the champs until someone takes it away, just like Denver was, and just like Milwaukee was, and just like we were, right? So at the end of the day, they got to go take it back, man. Got to go take it back. Savage says Raptors want a first for Bruce. That would be malpractice. We gave that up. He's overpaid. I don't know. The Lakers, if they were going to give up a first for Bruce, they would have done that at the trade deadline. So my thing is, I think they just want to get some type of asset now. So if they don't get an asset for him, they just opt him out, let him hit free agency. But if they can get like a couple of seconds for him, you know what I mean? Then I could see that. I could see that happening. So like a D'Lo. So let's say Jackson Hayes or Cam Reddish opt in. So then you can move a D'Lo and a Cam Reddish, and okay, you get a young player like Cam Reddish, some seconds for a guy you were just gonna not opt in. You were going to opt out of that deal anyways. So that's why they would do it. But if they were going to get a first round pick for him, the Lakers would have done that at the trade deadline, and they did not do it. His shot would leave him as soon as he joins the Lakers. Yeah, but he's not that great of a shooter anyways. My thing is like just all the other intangibles. I think his hustle, his grit, I think that still will translate here for sure. We got Kevin, what's that? Cantal. What's going on, man? Appreciate you. Jeff, what would do the ideal trade package if the Lakers decide to trade for Trey? I do not want to trade for Trey. So I hope they offer like everything that Atlanta doesn't want. I do not want Trae Young on this team. He will get obliterated come playoff time. But I'm assuming your price probably gonna have to be some type of combination. He makes more than DeJounte, so it's gonna have to be some type of combination. Gabe can probably have to be in there. If D'Lo opts in, he'll have to be in there. But for money, the Lakers would probably love to not move Austin in that deal, but they would love like if they could move like a D'Lo and a Gabe or a D'Lo and Rui, one of those other guys, because you have to make the money work first and foremost. But I do believe that his value has dropped. So while you may still be able to get him for less, I just do not want Trae Young on this team. I think it's disaster coming here. But again, appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. About 30% of the people here on the nightly have yet to subscribe to the channel. So greatly appreciate it if you guys would sub up, drop a like on the video, hit the description there, man. The first link in the description is how to become a member on the channel for less than the cost of lunch. You can become a member for a month. Go and hit that up. Shout out to everyone over on Twitter as well. Drop a like on the post, repost the post. And everyone on YouTube too, man. Share the video to your socials. Get it out there. Help us grow this channel. We'd appreciate it, man. You think, You think he's what do you mean? Kane says, would Bruce Brown start or come off the bench? It depends what the overall roster looks like, but I prefer him coming off the bench if possible. More Holiday. Wait, Drew Holiday or Dwight? The Derek White? I mean, I don't know what your question is. Are you saying, do I think like Bruce Brown is like that? He's not those players. He's kind of he has his own kind of fit and way to him though. BC, what's going on, man? Go LA Sports, Lakers, Dodgers, Rams, Kings, Galaxy. Facts. Appreciate you, brother, for tuning in. BC says, at least the Dodgers won. They did win, man. They won that series in Colorado. Shohei smoked that baseball today, too. Young won't help the rebounding problem. Young, yeah, no, he won't help the defense either. That's a nightmare if they get him, man. I would hate Trey on this team. Yeah, I just do not want that. Ice Trey is worse than Luka defense wise. So yeah, I agree with you, Empire Pro. I mean, I don't have anything against Trey Young. Like, I don't hate the guy. I don't think he's a terrible player. I just don't think he's a fit here. If I'm wrong and they get him, then I'm wrong. But like I said, I don't want a guard that can't defend, is extremely streaky, is wildly inefficient. People are holding on to what he did in the 2021 playoffs. He really has declined ever since then as a player. Like I said, he just isn't a guy that I'd want on this team. That's just my personal preference. I think it would be foolish to do so. Laker Life says, like a connector or utility guy. Yeah, I think Cam was out there on defense early, and our fan base wanted Austin so bad that his coach caved to the pressure and started AR-15 anyway. I was okay, and I prefer AR off the bench. I just would have preferred Max Christie out there getting those Cam Reddish minutes. That's just my preference. But yeah, I agree with you. I think he did put Austin back in there. I like Austin off the bench. Like I said, that's just me. But at the end of the day, he put him out there. And it is what it is. Kane says, what were your thoughts on AI when he was playing? Oh, filthy, man. Filthy. Incredible heart. grinder, gritty, played through everything, was competitive. He definitely was. He could be difficult to coach, but a lot of greats were during that time. Like I said, that team that he led to the NBA Finals, he was an incredible player, man. Transcending, very influential player. Unfortunately, his career didn't last as long as it could have. Because some unfortunate events, but AI was nasty. He was incredible, just flat out incredible. And if that guy would have been like 3 or 4 inches taller, oh my God, man, the history would be rewritten. Jaden, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Damn, AC to OKC really hurts. I wanted him back with our LA squad. I did too, man. I did too, but just didn't work out. It be that way sometimes, Appreciate you tuning in, though. Miguel, what's going on, brother? If Trey gets traded here, Reeves is either gone or coming off the bench. Max would have to start. Oh God, I do not want Trey here, man. I may have to go to church and pray that that they do not get Trey Young. Like, it's that serious. I may have to go pray on it. I may have to go ask for forgiveness, some help. I'm gonna go to Jesus. I'm gonna go to Jehovah. I'm gonna go to Allah. I'm gonna go to everyone, whichever one answers first, to not bring him here. That's what I don't want. I do not want Trey Young, man. Nothing personal. Strictly business, baby. Strictly business. And I just think that would be a horrible move for the Los Angeles Lakers, and it makes no sense to me. And if they do it and I end up wrong, then I'm wrong. I got no problem admitting that. I don't see it currently as a fit. King Carter says, why did AI not get a proper send-off? He had an abrupt ending. Well, because like I said, he got moved to Denver, and then like he had that weird where he kind of Detroit, then moved to Detroit, and then he kind of was gonna have to come off the bench, so he kind of walked away from the game, went to Memphis, barely played, and it got messy at the end. So a lot of people. So you remember what happened with Melo towards the end here when he got after he left OKC, went to Houston, got cut, and no one brought him back in because they just said he just would never accept a bench role, which wasn't 100% true, but they kind of knocked him out because it's kind of what happened with AI. He got to Memphis and Detroit and all that, and he just refused to take a bench role, didn't want to do it, became kind of problematic, became a problem. Then he went back to Philly and it kind of the same thing. He just, he was tough to deal with at times. And like I said, incredible ball player, but he kind of ended his career abruptly, just by kind of being a little too difficult there at the end. Savage says, if D'Lo and Braun opt out, we can't do a sign and trade, then bring Braun back. No, because Braun opting out, he still has a cap hold. Like they'd have to renounce his rights in order to do something to add to the team. So they'd have to renounce him, or he'd have to sign with someone else in order to open the cap space. So just because someone becomes a free agent, it's not like all that money becomes available, because you still hold his cap rights. So you have his bird rights. So you would have to renounce that, and then that cap space would open up, but you couldn't then sign him to that money. You can only sign him to what you have below the cap. So it wouldn't work that way. Liquor says, no Trey Young gang. Yeah, I'm absolutely 100% not with it. And I think most people are kind of that same thought and theory. I understand he's a name. I understand he's fun for the gamers and the 2Kers and the casuals. But outside of that, people who really know how to break down this game, I haven't heard a ton of them rock for him. Now I have heard some. So I'm not calling anyone ignorant or anything. It's not what I'm doing. But I'm saying most of the noise on Trey Young is people who really don't watch the game on the regular. But there are some OGs and legit ones who have said it too. So just for my money, I don't think so. Purple and Gold says, with the draft a few days away, you think Bronny get picked in the late 30ish? I think Bronny has potential to go in the 40s. I think there's potential there. I think I'm not sold that the Lakers are going to get him at 55. I think there's a chance the Lakers buy a pick, move up, and get him earlier. But I still think he ends up a Laker, no matter where he gets drafted. And I don't think it'll be at 55. I think it'll be sooner than that. I think they're going to have to buy a pick to do it, because I think someone's going to leverage them, or they're going to have one of their peoples that they got a relationship do draft him for them, and then they'll make the trade for him. But that's going to have to wait and see how people's draft boards start figuring out. If you got people that everyone on their board is gone, and they figure that maybe they can make some cash or leverage the pick against the Lakers, and they make the move, then maybe that happens earlier, and the Lakers have to pay a little bit more than they thought. But I still think that's a chance. There's multiple different angles that this can go. So We're gonna have to wait and see. Like I said, there's not a lot of answers here because I don't want to speculate on stuff I don't know. So if I had to gauge it, I would say that Bronny goes somewhere between 35 and 50. And I think the Lakers buy that pick to get him. I don't know what, I don't know where, I don't know who. But I think that is what's going to happen. But we'll have to wait and see. Give me 1 second here, guys. One second. Okay. Man, what's we got here? Amari said, did you hear what Carmelo said about Kobe and JJ? Yeah, I did. Melo said during the Olympic tryouts, Kobe hated JJ because of how Coach K was always talking about and praising JJ. Yeah, Kobe would do that. Like if you talked about someone too much, or you brought him up, or you did all this, he'd be like, let me stomp on your, let me step on this for you real quick and just show you how these guys are mere mortals compared to me. Kobe was known for that, man. Mari says, I'm sure they're good now though. Yeah. Do you think Jackson and Seawood opt into the deals? Christian Wood already did. Jackson Hayes, I would assume he does because I don't think he did anything to increase his value. So maybe he opts in. But I think that because Christian Wood already opted in, if Hayes and Redick opt in, I think that 2 of those 3 guys get traded. There's still a chance Christian Wood gets traded. I've heard that multiple times. I've heard that that there's no guarantee he's back. If they need his salary as filler, he's out of there. Like there's no guarantee he's coming back. They're not saying, okay, we have to move this guy. We're done with him. We don't want him. But they're not, we have to keep him. They're not. So we'll have to wait. If they move someone like a D'Lo, and someone's making a little bit more than D'Lo and they need that minimum contract to be the filler, then someone like Wood, Hayes, or Reddish would be out of there if those other 2 opt into their deals. Laker Life says that was a savage story about Kobe and JJ. Yeah, it's a typical Kobe story though, man. He don't care when it came to that stuff. If a player opt in, can you trade them immediately or do you wait? So if D'Lo opts in, you can trade him immediately. Immediately, you can trade him. If he opts out, resigns, depending on the dollar amount, he can be moved either December 15th or January 15th. But if he opts in, you can move him right away. Dan Inspiration says Kobe tried to shut Lynn Sanity down, but Lynn showed out and won against the Lakers. I still remember that game. I remember that game too, man. I was watching that game live at the bar. It was in New York, man. No, I wasn't in New York. The game was in New York. ESPN game. I believe it was a Friday night game, right? If my memory serves me right. And I remember that game clearly. And yeah, and Lynn Sanity had himself a game then too. He did. And Lynn Sanity kind of went away as fast as it arrived. But that dude came out of nowhere, lit it up, did his thing, and then it was over. Right? He had a good career. He had a solid career. But it didn't go to the area that people thought it would. Which happens from time to time. Here we go. I get why they never did a parade for that 2020 team around March, April 2021. Yeah, it lost. Players are gone. There's a lot of people out of there. And so it was, what's up, Lucky? What's up, Lucky? But it just, people moved on, went away. So it was, didn't have time to line up and get everyone there. So yeah, that did suck for the Dodgers and Lakers. We didn't get our parade at all for the Dodgers or Lakers. So that definitely sucked. People say it doesn't feel real because we didn't have a parade. I mean, it feels real. If it's definitely real, but we got hoes there. We definitely got hoes, and it was just our city because in basketball and baseball, we won in both that year. So we did not get our parade in either sport, and that sucks. And it's still like, I feel like we're still owed that in some type of way, but it's too late now. We're not going to get that. We didn't get it right after the fact, so we're not. They're not going to make up on that. Savage said, D'Lo opting could be potentially bad for them. Lakers could move on, and he left with no bird rights and only the MLE. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's why I'm saying his agent is doing his best to check around the league to see what offers may be out there. But I'm telling you, he's got no guarantees right now. So is he going to roll the dice? Because like I said, and he could go back to the Lakers, but Lakers like, look, there's no one out there. We're offering you 14, 15 mil. That's it. And we will Have to wait. Again, you're going to hear this a lot tonight. Wait and see, because he's doing his due diligence. I guarantee you. It's illegal as hell, but he's doing it, and he's checking. And if he doesn't get a firm commitment, they're like, look, we're going to, D'Lo's our first or second priority. If he doesn't get those commitments, then it's dangerous for him to opt out. To be fair, that game was a fluke. The game? What game? Which one? I don't know what game. You talk about the bubble in general? Because it's more than one game. What do you mean the game? Not entirely sure what you mean by that. The bubble was definitely not a fluke. That was one of the hardest championships anyone could win. The only reason they diminish it is because it's the Lakers that won it. You know how that be. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel. Also, if you have not done so already, shout out to everyone on Twitter. Shout out to everyone on YouTube. Like I said, man, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. 30% of the people here every single night have yet to subscribe to the channel. So we would greatly, greatly appreciate it if you would take time to do so now and drop a like while you're at it. I think we got almost 50 likes on the video. We got over 70 people in the building right now. Everyone in the building who has not dropped a like on the video, please do so. It's quick, it's easy, it's free. Hit that thumbs up. Help your boy out. We would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Mari says Friday or Monday for JJ's press conference. I don't know. I don't think it's been announced yet. Won't be tomorrow. Maybe Monday then. Maybe Monday. Are the Dodgers making a big trade now with Mookie's injury, now knowing he's going to be out for 2 months? They might. I think if a shortstop becomes available and Mookie's injury is going to keep him out up to right at around the trade deadline. So if he's, getting closer to return or already back at the time that the trade deadline is here, then maybe not. If he has a setback or stays out a little bit longer, then we will wait and see on that. But I think that you're going to need a shortstop. And part of me is like, look, this may not be the worst thing in the world because he's going to get a break from playing shortstop for 6 to 8 weeks, right? And if that's the case, then some of that wear and tear, we're worried about him playing short. Well, this injury kind of takes away from that a little bit. It's not ideal. You don't want it to be done this way. But there is something in that, right? But outside of that, someone like a Bo Bichette, I don't think Adames is going to be available because Milwaukee's hanging around there and doing well. So I don't know what type of shortstop they'd be able to get. But you can never have too much. I think Miami's going to be a real player at the trade deadline with Luzardo and Tanner Scott. The Yankees and Dodgers may be bidding on some of the same players here. So that's going to be interesting. See what the White Sox do with some of their players. But I'll have a Dodger and baseball stream coming up, and we can talk all about that. You think we should bring in CP3 and Clay? We're not going to get Clay. CP3, I think, is a strong chance that could happen if Golden State does not pick up his option and they don't trade him. I think there is a chance that he could be gone from them, and the Lakers could snag him at the minimum. I could absolutely see that happening. He will have other suitors though. Maybe, like I said, the Clippers again, Miami, even he's eligible to go back to Phoenix now. I don't necessarily think he'd be going to OKC, Philly, something like that. I don't think so, because him and Daryl Morey really are on the best page. But maybe the Lakers, but there's going to be some other, I don't know if I want to use the word competition, but there's going to be other options for him out there. So we'll have to wait and see about it. The insanity of that game. Yeah. Kane Carter says the fact Kobe played through that ankle in 2000 is crazy. Yeah, man. He only missed one game. He missed one game. It was crazy. Jeff, how many actions can you run in a 24-second half court set? It depends. That depends. Depends on the defense. It depends on your guards. It depends on your screeners. It depends on the intelligence of your team. That's not it's not an easy answer because I don't think there is a perfect answer there. Obviously, you can't run 15 of them. You know what I mean? But Savage says D'Lo's agent can't let him lose those bird rights or get under his player option, because once he makes 12 to 15 million, teams will see him as that value for the rest of his career. Facts. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. And people have been bashing me for weeks as I've been saying, look, it's becoming increasingly more possible that he opts in. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying it's happening. I'm just saying it's becoming quite possible that it happens. A lot of things will have to happen. His agent will have to get feedback that he's not a top priority. Maybe he relates to the Lakers. There's a team he'd prefer to go to, and the Lakers like someone on that team they can make a deal work for. There's a lot of different angles and avenues that this could become interesting in. CP3 and Rondo in the same team, Jeff. Yeah, I know, but crazier things have happened. You had Pat Bev and Russell Westbrook on the same team. We had that. Okay, like the fact for that to happen just shows you that anything is possible from that standpoint, man. It's possible. Is there a way to provide spacing if you can't shoot? Well, yes and no. So if you can't shoot, but you can penetrate or you can hit that floater, can't shoot, but being wide open, there's still a chance you can make it. And see if you make one or two, like it can be the difference in a ball game, right? But spacing, majority, you can't provide the spacing you would hope for. That's a no. But if you have an offense and a guy gets the ball and he can attack right away because of seam, then yeah, that can help. But outside of that, the word spacing is difficult to say yes to, because if you can't shoot, then it could be difficult to provide that spacing for sure. D'Lo for Bruce Brown. Yep, that's what I've been saying, man. I'm going to keep saying that until it is impossible to happen. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep speaking it into existence. Just like I'm going to tell you how to subscribe, just like I'm going to tell you how to like the video, I'm going to tell you that Bruce Brown coming to the Lakers is something I'm going to continue to push until it is no longer a reality. I got to do it, man, to invest it in it. KD says, what's good? What's going on, KD? Need advice. You dig? I need to balance work, school, because I'm there all day, then fam life, etc. How do I manage all that? Just manage your time wisely. Handle your school when it's time to handle school. Just lock in. Lock in on the school part, right? Knock that out because that's important. That's your future right there, right? Work is your present. It's still going to be your future, but I'm not sure what you're going to school for. And if you're like working at what you're going to school to increase in or not. But lock in on work when it's time to work. Lock in on school when it's time to lock in on school, and relax and chill and don't overthink spending the family time. Just have fun and relax. You just got to lock in when it's time to lock in. Because what happens is when you try to commingle it all together, you can get distracted, and that slows everything down and makes it longer than it has to be. Just lock in when you need to lock in. And I know it's easier said than done, but once you get in a rhythm and repetition is so important. When you have a repetition and you have a routine, it's really easy to lock in on things. Trust me, my balance is crazy. Like my responsibilities are crazy as far as what my time consumes in a day. And it's all about locking in and the repetition, and you can get it done. The guy says, Rondo, LeBron, CP3, JJ, good luck, everyone else. Players about to be nuts. Yeah, and not just that, but people are going to start getting slapped too. It's a fiery group of guys out there too. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Definitely going to be interesting. I'm excited, man. I'm here for it. Absolutely here for it. And I think everyone is, like, at this point, like I said, I think everyone was to the point where they're just excited that it's over with, right? We got over with it. We got through with this, trying to figure out who our coach is going to be and when. And now we know, now it's about who the assistants are, that it's about, okay, what's happening in the draft and then free agency. So it's going to be a roller coaster, man. And it's coming. And it'll be here faster than you know. We're less than a week from the draft. After the draft, it's a 2-day draft, 26th and 27th. After the 27th, at 3 p.m. West Coast time, 6 p.m. Eastern on the 30th is when teams can start talking to other players and get deals done. And then things just start rocking. You got Summer League coming. So it's all right around the corner, man. It's going to be here faster than you know. Jeff, is the free throw line the best initial position to put your big before they set for a pick and roll action? Free throw line or free throw line extended. If they're going to do a pick up high, obviously they can do a back screen to free up someone else. But as far as up top, free throw line extended. It depends. If they're pressing, you're going to bring them higher out to the 3-point line or 3-point line extended. It depends on what the defense is doing it, but typically in that area, majority of the time. Katie says, I appreciate that. You're welcome, man. I'm telling you, locking in on things, committing to things, setting goals for yourself, and reminding yourself to stick to it. The repetition and routine is everything. Trust. You think they should add a 4-point line? Nah. I'm not there yet. Still want to keep some of the game, the classic. You know what I mean? I don't want it all to be crazy. But yeah, man, on that note, I'm going to shut it down for the night. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all can be anywhere in the world, but you here with me. I appreciate that. So thank y'all for tuning in here on a Thursday night. Vegas Dev, I see you, my guy. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you being a member here. I'll get your last one here. Salute Jeff, won't lie. I'm skeptical about JJ, but I'm glad we finally got a coach locked in, and I'm rooting for him. Yeah, there we go. That's all we can do, my guy. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you being a member as always, man. As always, guys, drop a like on the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Shout out to everyone rocking on Twitter X as well. I appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your night. You have a great Friday, man. First day of summer kicked off tonight. And have a good one tomorrow. We'll be talking tomorrow night and throughout the weekend. As always, I appreciate y'all. Stay safe. Catch you guys tomorrow.